Hello. It is that time again. Wednesday again. Time just be flying.
It does fly. It does fly when you're having fun and living life.
Come on, live your life.
That's
So,
right.
welcome to Pour It Out with She and T. And she is having,
Water.
and then I have a strawberry lemonade with 1800 tequila.
Whoa, that's a turn up there for sure.
Right. Well, I just got off, child, the session I got off.
You need more than that, huh?
Boom. It was good though. It was good. I love, I just love what I do. But some of these sessions, I'd be like, I'd be mind blown. Like, ooh, this stuff really exists in the world. Okay. Mhm.
Yeah, and you wouldn't even know it if you weren't doing that. It's the
You
exposure.
would not know it at all. You just think people are people, but sometimes you don't really see into people until you get to talking to them. And that's why they come, because they know that they need some change in their life. And I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Because I know the therapists who heard my stuff when I was going through, they was like, I know they was like, wee. They probably couldn't wait till I got there. So,
But it
it,
helped you though.
huh?
It
It
helped
helped.
you.
It helped me. Yes. Plus,
Oh, yeah.
I will say what else helped me is just age and really just getting to know myself,
Mm-hmm. And loving yourself.
loving myself, getting to know my expectations, who I am. I don't have to settle for this, what I deserve, all that help.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So let's talk about the shirt now. That's cute.
Thanks. Proud Black marriage and family therapist.
Where'd
Yes,
you
since
get
we
that?
are in Amazon.
Oh.
Yeah, since we are in Black History Month still. Yeah, just
Yeah.
rocking on out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was proud this year. I heard a lot more tribute being paid to Black History Month. My daughter's school, they did a person of the day. Someone got on the intercom every day and read about a famous Black artist, cook, like whatever, like anything concerning Black excellence. They read about it.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
And she goes to a mixed school, right?
yeah. She goes to a private school, so
Okay.
majority of the population does not look like us. So it was good that they asked Black students to read it. And so I thought that was really interesting. They didn't do that last year,
Okay.
or did
Somebody.
they? I didn't hear it.
Okay. Somebody must have said something, or for them to see that it's a need for that. I love it. Now me, I don't feel like I heard anything on the news. Oh, this is what I heard. In me and my husband, like 2 days, saw a Black History program. But girl, it was like 10:30 at night. I'm like, why are y'all? It was really good. It was two of them that was really good. But I'm
Yeah,
like, why are y'all playing it at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night? Who's up watching it?
yeah. I was asleep.
Yeah,
I didn't know anything about it.
I normally we're asleep, but we happened to catch that, and they were really good. So
Wow.
I don't know why. Well, I do know why they would put them at night because they didn't really want nobody to see it,
Right.
but they wanted to be able to say that they did it.
They did it. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I haven't seen a whole lot. Especially like on TV, you would see some. They used to show like some local plays and different things that they had for Black History, but not this year.
James just had to make a whole fifth grade class, if I'm not mistaken, Black History Month t-shirts because they're having a program tomorrow.
Mm.
So they'll have on their t-shirts, they'll do and let me tell you something, that school has come a long way. The school that he made them from
Mm.
For Katie used to go there, and they wouldn't even allow black people on the board. It was
Wow.
like, yeah, I won't say they wouldn't allow. They just were
It
very
was few.
particular
Okay,
about who was on their PTA board.
gotcha.
And
Hmm.
now it's very diverse, which is why you have a lot of Black history things going on up there. And I really like it. It has totally evolved.
Okay, I love to see that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
it's great. It's great to see it. It's great to hear it. It's great to be a participant in it. All that.
Hmm. And I did Black History on Monday, 2 Mondays in a row on here, about pioneers in the mental health field, which
Yes.
is very few of them, unfortunately, which I
Hmm.
think that we just didn't get the credit for it. I think a lot of this stuff we probably did discover, and then it was given to somebody, credit was given to somebody else, like so many other things that black people have made and thought of, and then they take the idea and hey, it's theirs.
Yeah. Last year I had the privilege of going on a field trip to Charleston, South Carolina.
I haven't been.
Um,
I want to go.
it is beautiful.
Mm.
It is beautiful, but it is a lot of history there. We got to tour a plantation that still had the slave houses and everything. And so that was very sombering, but
Mhm.
also very enlightening.
Mhm.
Just to stand in those spots
I
and
like them nails.
oh, thanks, friend.
Mhm.
um, and one thing that really stood out was they had these brick buildings, and slaves, like you're saying, did not get credit back in the day for the work that they did. And so the way they knew who did what is they would put their initials in it a certain type of way, like little signals and
In
little
the
symbols
wall, what the wrote in the
in the
wall?
in yeah, they
Yeah,
put it in stone. Yeah. In
yeah,
the brick. They put it in there. And so you could go and be like, oh, such and such made this. You knew.
yeah. We went
But
to
that's what they had to do back then.
yeah, we went to where was it? New Orleans. Um maybe maybe it's going on 2 or 3 years ago. And that's what we saw. That was the first time I actually saw like a slave plantation home, because they actually, had it for touring and all of that stuff. And that's what they did. Wrote their initials in the wall and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All the work that they did. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and that, yeah, that tour was like parts of it they tried to minimize or downplay,
Yes.
yeah, what the blacks really did. And
Yes.
yeah, to make it like, oh, kind of water it down.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Same thing at the one I went to. I even asked questions and it was kind of just like, oh, blah
Yeah.
blah blah.
Uh-huh. They didn't want to touch it. They didn't want to
Oh
touch.
no,
You can walk
no.
through, right? But don't be asking them questions.
Don't ask. Go
Yeah.
read about it.
Yeah.
Because we're not gonna answer them.
Exactly. But it was something to see, just how we used to have to live as black people.
And like they would say it would be like four families in that tight space.
Yeah.
And girl, like you could as soon as you walked through the door, you saw the back of the house.
It's like a studio, right? Because I saw they had like headquarters where we saw too, and it really was like I don't even know how to describe it. Right, like it's what are those houses you can see from the front to the back?
Shotgun.
Shotgun. Well, this wasn't no shotgun.
It wasn't even a shotgun, Tony. It was like a hut.
It was a little hut, right? And it's like technically like a studio. Everything was all in one. So for four people, I think they sat there about three or two or three families would share.
Family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then they would go out and they told us that they would go out at night because they didn't get fed a lot.
Yeah.
So they would go out at night and hunt the
Mm-hmm.
animals that were out and they would try to eat that to
Mm-hmm.
survive. So you
Yeah.
came up with all the chitlins and stuff because they got the leftover everything.
Exactly. Exactly.
So it's just like it's amazing to me to see how far we've come. Like James and I talk to Kaden all the time about HBCUs and how important they are. Just even if she doesn't choose to go to one, just understanding that it was a time when Black people were not allowed to be educated at all. And for that reason alone, you should go to school every day with some level of appreciation, because it's some people that did not get this opportunity, even if they wanted it. We're actually reading Roll of Thunder, Hear My Choir right now.
I read that back in school. I don't remember
And
exactly, but I remember it was good. Yeah.
it's really good. And I said in honor of Black History Month, we're going to read this book. And we'll finish sometime in March or April, because we only read like a chapter a day. But I really wanted them to get to a place. It's her and two of her friends that ride with us in the mornings. I wanted her to get to a place to where she sees that life has not always been like this.
Man. And yeah, so we've come a long way, but we haven't, in ways.
Mm-hmm.
We have so much access now to things and we take it for granted.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that we really live up to our fullest potential. Like social media and, all the things that we do have has hindered a lot of us because we
Yeah.
don't even use our brains like we should. Like like they say, you want to hide something from Black people, put it in a book. How many Black people actually read? Like a lot of people just don't pick up a book. And so how do you expand your mind? How do you grow? I believe that because of all of the, um, I guess, stops that were along the way for Black people, that's what helped them to keep pursuing, right? And now it's just so freely, all information is just out here that people don't search for it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It is, and it's readily available for you. And like we talked about a couple of weeks ago, you not only have to get the information, but you have to apply the information for it to really help you in life. If you don't apply it, then you might as well just forget about it, because
Yeah.
you might as well not even read it, because application is just another level of freedom that I don't think we practice.
Yeah, we talk about reading, but you're right, like the application piece. I mean, like so many people go to church, and I'm not gonna get on church because we talk about church every week, right? I'm just saying this because people go but don't apply. You
Hmm.
know, that's really what I was telling my client. Like coming to therapy is good, but then it's applying in between. And that's why I do the whole homework thing, because you need to be working on something in between. Not just, oh, I go to therapy. Nope. What are you thinking about? How are you processing? So that growth can happen.
I think that's good. And I think that if you want, now that I'm hearing everything and I've kind of like done a lot of things, I think that you should apply. Um, you should go to church once a week. You should go to therapy once a week, at least if you can get there. I think that that's really what helps you become a whole person. Like,
Well
you know what
rounded.
I'm saying? Yeah.
Hmm.
Like, read something about money once a week. You
Hmm.
know, uh, all these kind of things. Go to the gym at least once a week.
Hmm.
You can do more, but can you get to a place to where you're doing all those things for your body, for your mind, for your spirit, all these things for
Financially. Hmm.
finances? Yeah, like all these things.
Sexually. Maybe you should have sex at least once a week, huh?
You should have sex once a week. That is like, that's
Have
like,
balance, right?
you need to.
Yeah.
Yes, at least once a week. And I think that that is that should be a standard that we start to set in our heads. You know, date night once a week. We do date night once a week. Family time at least once a week.
Hmm.
Try to incorporate, and I think incorporating those things will help you not to get too overwhelmed, because you're like, oh, I got to do this three times a week. I got to do, I got to do this every day. Like, especially when you're starting something new,
Hmm. Hmm.
to help you out, be a better person. Cause like if you try to apply something and you try to do it too quickly, then you
You're
might,
going to fall off.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or overwhelm yourself, right? Like if I'm
Hmm.
trying to do it, I remember was starting Tony Talks and I said I was going to do it every day during the week,
Hmm.
5 days. And I started
Hmm.
off 5 days, like for the first month. And then it was a whole lot, not only on me, but on my husband. He like, every day, like, you got to do it every day, 6:30 in the morning. Like, you know, so that then I had to, scale it back, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so it wasn't overwhelming, I would say, for me, but more so for our relationship.
And you've evolved so much, even since last year with
I
time.
don't know about that. I don't feel that. I don't feel that.
Yeah,
Because when
but
I hear myself, the crazy part is I hear myself from last week and I'd be so proud about myself. And I feel like I regressed.
really,
I do. I don't see the growth. I think that's what I'm saying. I don't see the growth in me
and what makes you feel that way?
because I was bringing it last week, last month, last year. Last year I felt like I was studying more for everything that I, was talking about. I just felt like it was so much better.
I don't know. I feel like it's more personable now.
You think so? Well, maybe. So that's cool because if that's where it is, then that's cool, right? I'm actually cool with it because I know I'm where I'm supposed to be. I do know that, right? But I feel when I look back, I'll be like, damn, girl, you was doing it. And I don't feel that same. I know I'm not the same person as last year. I'm not supposed to be. But I'm just saying, I'm trying to see how I have grown. That's what I'm saying.
You're so much more relaxed, and you're giving information, but the way you give it is just way more. I don't know. I think last year it might have been a little bit too much information.
Oh,
I
okay.
think this year you are very much so like, I'm gonna tell you this,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna get off of here and have a good day. I
Yeah.
think that's one thing that you struggle with too, the time, because you've gone down tremendously on your time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I realized, first of all, when I saw stats, most people watch 37 seconds. So why am I sitting here giving you a whole hour and a half or hour and 15? It don't take all that, right?
Yeah,
People now with technology being the way it is, attention spans just aren't there, right? So
yeah,
I'll do like 20, 21 minutes or something like that. But to do what I was doing like an hour. And I think for an interview, that's fine, right? Like, because sometimes you just be getting into it.
yeah. Oh
But
yeah,
talking on my own, no. Because I'm not even going to stand up in front of nobody and talk for an hour. I don't care how much you can pay me $100,000. I don't see myself standing. Well, I won't say that, but I don't see standing for an hour talking because you lose people after so much time. You got to have a whole lot of things that you're doing in that hour to keep their time, their presence.
yeah. And their attention. My mom was
Mhm.
just talking to me about that with what James and I are doing, and she was like, it was a little long, and I was like, okay, so that's something that I'm saying to myself. Okay, we're gonna scale our stuff back even on Sundays, 30 to 45 minutes, and that's it. You
Yeah,
know. So even when it's both of us, I think because it's always both of us bouncing off of each other,
yeah.
him and I, and it's I just feel like we're gonna take it down too because you're so right. It's like you listening and you want to you mean well, but then after a while, even the most attention oriented person loses it at some point, and you don't want that.
Well, part of that is to me because I'm an interactive person. I could stay on, right? If I come on and it's live, I love that because I love the live engagement,
Mm-hmm.
to interact with y'all when y'all on live.
Mm-hmm.
But once it's off, my attention I'll be like, okay, let me listen to a part of it, right? I'm gonna make my comments. I'm gonna come back. And I don't come back all the time, right? So I like to sit there. I am an interactive person. I know that. So
Mm-hmm.
when you have two people, it's really hard to scale because you trying to say it's almost like with therapy. When I got a couple, you got to get two people's side. You know what I'm saying? So that time goes so fast, it's crazy.
It does.
with yourself, you can pull it back, right? But then
Yeah.
you're bouncing off of him, he's bouncing off of you. Yeah, y'all gonna have to really be on it. Like maybe have a bell or something to let y'all know that okay, we've hit this time, because you could go on and on and on. That's like with me and you. I mean, we always go over, right?
We do, but we
Yeah,
don't even intentionally do it. Like I look at the time and I'm like, oh, we're doing great. Like right
yeah,
now we're 3 minutes. And I'm like, oh, we're doing great. And then I look back up here in another minute, it seems, and it'll be an hour.
that's
And I'm
true.
like, what happened?
That's true.
Like
But
what
it,
happened?
yeah. I mean, when the conversation just starts to going, it goes, right? And that's a good thing to me, because we're here to build a safe space. We're here to build a place where we pour it out, whatever, whatever we need to discuss, we discuss. And so
Mhm.
we bounce from all over. We go all over. And so each subject can take 20, 30 minutes, right? I think that's how the time just continues to go.
Yeah, I agree. And it only takes like one topic for us, and then it's like, oh,
Yeah,
we're going.
because it just goes from there.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Did you see that comment I wrote on your page? Like you commented on our page, and I wrote like this is what I was talking about when I was asking you that question about
I
being
saw that.
born with a mental illness and like being traumatized. It's almost like when you're born with a physical defect, that is something that's with you permanently. So I look at it like if you're born mentally altered, can that truly be changed with therapy?
If you're born mentally altered, yes, it can be. And I look at myself. Can't wait. Say it again.
So okay, like there are certain chromosomes that people are born with. Then they may be mentally retarded. You have those things. I don't know if I can say that word these days, but mentally challenged. Let's say that. And that's something that they're going to live with for the rest of their lives. Like they were born that way and they're going to live that way for the rest of their life. I don't care how much medicine you get them. I don't care how much surgery you do. I don't care how much therapy. That is their life.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is when it comes to a mental illness,
Hmm.
something mentally altered, during the birth, during all that, and they come out that way, but it might not start showing signs until about 3, 4, 5, whatever. Is that something that you can be healed from?
I think yes, depending on what it is. So when we talk about autism, right?
Yeah.
You could be on the spectrum. Can you really be healed from it? I think you can grow in that space, right, of being autistic. But I also, if you think about depression or anxiety, can you be healed
Hmm.
from it? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I would have to say, now I don't know, but I would think my mama was depressed when she had probably all her kids. So
Okay.
that means that we probably all came out with some form of depression as I think back, right? But can you come out of that if you do the work?
So mental is very different from physical defects, is what you're saying.
I think, yeah. A physical defect, you don't have to let it stifle you. Like, here I go again. Myron Golden, right? So he says that he had something about his foot. Maybe one might have been shorter than the other or
Oh,
something.
I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Okay.
couldn't do certain things, but nobody ever knows because he never let it hinder him,
Right.
So you can be born with a physical defect, but then hey, some people may never even know that you were born with that defect
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because you do the work in it, not to camouflage, but just to become better, right? To just walk in, as he said, he's walking in his purpose. God allowed that to happen to him so he could be slowed down enough to see what he was supposed to be doing in life.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. And like schizophrenia.
Hmm.
I think that is a very difficult one. You have to be on top of with diagnosing that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because go ahead.
I would say schizophrenia, you look at history, right? And so, I mean, if there's diagnosis of history of it, then it gives you some clue into the symptoms a lot of times start appearing, right? But yes, you do have to really look closely at the how the person is expressing, how they're showing themselves, to see that schizophrenia. Yeah, I think I've only worked with one person with schizophrenia since I've been a
Since you've been a therapist, what was that like?
it actually was okay. So she kind of was on the spectrum too, right? It wasn't on the end where it was where she needed to be hospitalized, right?
Okay.
She would get hospitalized sometimes, but she could manage a lot of times, during that process. She just had to have all of her services intact. She had to make sure that she was maintaining what she was supposed to be doing and people in place to help her to maintain.
And she appeared normal in those times when she maintained and took her medicine.
Well, normal as in,
Her normal is what I'm saying.
oh,
Like,
her
yeah,
normal, her
yeah,
normal. Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah. And I think that that's what it is. We are so very different. But you never know if somebody's different because that's just their personality, or if they're different because they truly have like some type of mental something going on.
yeah.
I think that's the hardest thing for me, trying to figure out those two things right there.
Hmm.
Is this person's personality, or do they have something really going on up here that
And
has
guess
the
what? Most times they may not even know.
yeah, yeah,
They probably don't even know that it could be something mentally, going on with them. They may just think this is me, right? I know I'm different. I know I think different, but I don't know anything. I don't know what I would be called.
and then you don't want to label people. You don't want to put things on people. You
Yeah.
don't want to. They said that all the time. When Kaden was in elementary school, because that's when a lot of the ADHD diagnoses and ADD diagnosis, all that becomes a thing. Like
Mhm.
around that time, and one thing that they told us that a teacher could never do, and that was tell you or your child that they had ADHD or
Right.
ADD. Like they couldn't do that because you don't want to label somebody, and then now they're walking around with this label, and you're not a professional, and you put this on them, and
Mhm.
now they feel like, oh well, this is what I am now.
Yeah. Yep.
You don't have the authority to do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so many have done it. I remember thinking about Les Brown and how he said when he
Look
was
at
late.
you, Daddy.
You saw the dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, how he was labeled basically dumb. That's what the teacher labeled him, and he started to think that, right?
And
So
fine.
it's just so, yeah, you have to really be careful with those diagnoses. For some, it can help, right? Some people, it can help them to really get an understanding as they start getting psychoeducation on what this and that may do, right? But everybody don't take it well.
Do
So,
so in your line, do you diagnose in your field?
mhm, I have to diagnose to get paid unless they self pay.
That's pretty
Yeah,
interesting.
insurance makes it where you have to diagnose, and I think that that's for a reason. It's to one, like, put a label on people.
Yep.
It just keeps people, and it can keep people stuck. It can hinder if that information is put out there. It can hinder things in your life, right? Say your job finds out, you don't want them to know, and I get audited, or I get what is it called, subpoenaed or something, you know that can have a negative impact on somebody. So
Mm.
yeah, I that's how they make it, that, and that's why the whole DSM, all of that stuff is like, it works to their favor. So like if I have a self-pay client, sometimes I don't diagnose them because why? Who's going to subpoena me? Who's going?
Right.
Somebody may, their family may, right? They may say she was in therapy or he was in therapy and whatever, it could happen. But
Yeah.
I don't necessarily have to diagnose self-pay, but you have to diagnose if you want to get paid for working with insurance.
So what do you use as an aid to help you in that process?
You got to find it in the DSM.
So I'm saying, like, when they come in, do
Oh,
you have,
you have all different assessments. You know, uh,
hmm
there's a GAD, which is for generalized anxiety disorder. There is for depression, PHQ-9. So there's different ones, and you have to put them in one of these things in order to get paid.
I see. So you have to pretty much search for a diagnosis for people when they come and see you.
So, and here's the thing, right? So they have like something called Z codes, which, sorry, Z codes, you can't get paid for Z codes. So Z code could be like a lot of times husband and wife come in and they have conflict. That could be a Z code. You can't put them under a Z code, even though that is what they're there for, conflict in their relationship. You have to find something that's billable in order to bill it.
Wow. Wow. That would probably take up the majority of my time. Trying
In the beginning, but you know what I mean, a lot of people get diagnosed with anxiety, generalized anxiety disorder, right, or adjustment disorder. There's some type of adjustment going on in their relationship, right? So it's a billable code. um and then you sometimes you just don't want to put all their business out there
right.
because we're there to protect the client. And so if I put certain things out there, hey, I it runs a risk that I could be audited, like I said, or somebody may pull their records. It's insurance. They pay me, so then they have rights if they want to see their files. And it just sucks, like I'm really thinking about this whole thing of, ooh, excuse me, taking insurance. But so many people don't have the funds to pay out of pocket.
Right.
It's a catch 22.
I mean, because you would probably get people, but you probably wouldn't get the amount of people that
It'd
you
be
get
few
now.
and far in between. Yep.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Until you, and then you would have to go word of mouth for that. So eventually you'll get it, but that would be a long hill to climb because, like you said, I don't know many Americans that don't have some form of insurance.
Yeah. I have probably maybe three, self-pay clients, and they don't come every week. They come like every 2 weeks, because
Hmm.
it just gets expensive. And I understand that, and my
Yeah.
rates are higher. My private rates are higher than insurance. Insurance don't pay you what you worth,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
so it really is a catch 22 to that thing. But yeah, I'm trying to just think that through.
Yeah. And you'll get on the other side of it because, like you said, I do believe that is a catch 22 in that situation. Because I mean, I feel like people like Myron Golden aren't taking insurance.
No, I mean, it's I know a lady who is not even, no, she's not licensed in the field, but you saw her. Love McPherson. You saw,
Oh yeah, Love McPherson. Yeah.
she's a therapist that doesn't take insurance and they pay her. And that's because she has built her name,
Yeah.
right? And so if you build your name, then people will pay you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess if I get on these stages and stuff where people, then you'll have an influx of people who just know, oh, I want to be in her chair, then they'll pay. But until then, right now, I got to take insurance because, that's just where I'm at right now.
That's right now. I think
Yeah.
it's a good goal though for you to say you want to move towards um self pay.
Yeah, I want to do high end clients though. I want high end as in like I used to want to do, and do I want to do them now? Yeah, I think I do. I want to do pastors and their wives.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's where, if that's a need that
Ooh.
I feel is not being met. First of all, just now you're hearing about pastors going, right? But you don't hear a lot of times about their husband and the husband and wife going. So if I could get in and see them, that's who I would deal with, the husband and wife of pastors, ministers, those type within the church. I
I
think
think
I'd
right.
be mind blown.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Girl,
Yeah.
yes. Because they have to hold up such a facade, you know, and to go somewhere. That's why I told you you need to do that. You need to watch Nine Perfect Strangers.
Non-perfect strangers? It's
Nine
a movie?
Perfect
Oh,
Strangers.
Nine Perfect Strangers.
It's a show, and it's about Nicole Kidman, and what she does is she microdoses these people. They go to this place like this. I mean, like very serene, just very, oh, it's just beautiful. And she microdoses them to calm them down because a lot of them have like anxiety and things like that going on. They don't know that she's microdosing them. She's putting it in their food. And eventually she tells them that she's microdosing them.
That's unethical.
No, it's not because they signed paperwork. And so I think what I'm trying to say is though, like the level of comfort that they got with her was like, and that's when they got like a lot of breakthrough.
Because you
So
got to let your guards down.
yeah, and I was like, man, I'm sitting here watching you microdose these pastors and they wives.
Oh, she does pastors and wives.
No, I'm saying you.
Oh,
I'm watching
me.
you. I'm thinking
Oh,
about
yeah,
you in
yeah.
my
Oh,
head.
yeah. Yeah. Like, they would have to know that they could trust, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's the thing why they don't go, because who can they trust?
Who
They're
can they?
afraid that you're going to put their stuff out there. I don't care what paperwork they sign. People, they, what is it called? Breach that all the time, for money. If I had all this information and somebody came to me and said, I'll give you XYZ, they, I'm sure, would be afraid that, I might go for it.
Ooh, like somebody like TD Jakes in your office.
Mm, mm, mm.
Whew, I would love it. I
Me,
would love it for you.
me too.
You
I'm
know.
all for it though. That, yeah. If I wanted to do that, I've been wanting to do that for a while. And I
Well,
think it's a need for it.
I'm gonna pray that you get high profile clients and that you get pastors and wives.
Come on. Thank you. In Jesus' name, from
In
your
Jesus'
mouth
name.
to his. Hmm.
Yeah, like, and that you are able to carry whatever load and responsibility that.
That part, right? Because I may be asking for it and maybe God ain't gave it to me, because he might be like, girl, you don't know what you asking for, because that weight is heavy. That mantle is heavy, right?
Yeah.
To have to carry that. I mean, like I say, some of the clients that I deal with now, I be like, like, wow, it really is heavy, but I mean, I can do it because this is just my calling.
I mean, I feel like it's nothing that people can come in there to say to you that you'll be like, oh my God.
Oh no.
Like you've heard it all, seen it all. At this point, it's like, okay. And that's what they need. They need somebody to just be like, oh, okay.
And they need somebody who's gonna call them on their stuff too.
Yes.
They, a lot of times, I think with pastors, they're used to having this level of people are yes people in their life. Ain't gonna be me. Nope. I'm telling them, like Iyanla say, today gonna be one of them days where you don't like me, because I'm gonna tell you exactly what you need to hear, not what I'm supposed to be. I'm not gonna be no tiptoeing therapist. Ain't gonna happen. Go to somebody else. Get somebody else to do it.
So you do like Ayala.
I do. I love her.
I
I know
didn't know.
a lot of people don't because they say like she does some spiritual stuff and stuff that, don't align with God and stuff. I love her.
I do too. I really like her. I think
I
she's like,
I
mm,
hate she don't have her show no more.
yeah, yeah. She just like disappeared. But I really do think she was helping people.
I do too. My daughter actually applied and they were sending her information for our family to come on there. They was. Yeah, girl. Ooh, child. Child.
Oh
Yeah. They were sending her information. I was like, what?
God, she
That would have
got
been good.
through.
It would have been really good because our situation was different than I've seen any on Iyanla. I haven't seen anything like that. So I could see why they wanted to pick it up.
Was she just didn't send the information back?
Somebody said, baby, I love you.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
On the comment?
On the comments.
Oh, I'm not in there. I can't see any comments.
Oh, you can't see comments. Okay. Um,
Is it Tyrone?
no, I don't know. This is StreamYard. I don't know how to say Vignesh. Vignesh.
Vignesh.
Yeah. So yeah, back to
Vignesh.
Iyana. Yeah, I love her. And I hate that they took her off.
Oh, yeah. I hate that they took her off too. I think that she was amazing. And hopefully she's still somewhere saving lives.
Yeah. She has a podcast now. I used to listen to it, but she has some good people come on the podcast, just real life stuff. She'll have two people come on, talk about their story, and it's really good. I just haven't listened in a while. Sometimes I'm consistent, then inconsistent with listening to her. Yeah.
I wonder where she got her knowledge from to be able to talk to people like that.
Iyanla, man, she been under some wise people.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes, like that. Cause when she get in there with people, she be in there.
Oh man, and I love that she don't sugarcoat it. She's just gonna tell you just like it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Some people can't handle that, and that's just the type of therapist I am. Like, hey, don't come to me if you're not ready for the real. Like, why are you here? I'm not going to sugarcoat it because that's what people do in your life.
Yeah, and I think that that's what leaves you in bondage sometimes when somebody can't just call you out and say, "Hey, you're messing up here." Because they go to therapy sometimes for that,
Yeah.
to get coddled and all that.
Mhm. Mhm.
Hmm. But
Oh
some
yeah.
therapists don't do that, and you're saying you're just one of those therapists that's not gonna do that.
It's not my blood. I don't have it in me to be like that at all.
I need to be in some of your counseling sessions as can you
Man.
be on as an intern?
Yes. Yes, yes,
Let me
yes.
come
Because
in there.
I just give it to them in the raw. Like we talk, the one I just got off with, she's new, but she's super raw, right? And so, young generation. And so those be the best because they don't come in with no facades. It just is what it is. And I was like, yes, so we can just be real and raw. I see you raw, baby, get this.
I'm finna drop it now. So
Drop it. Yes. So I love that. I love those type of therapy sessions.
I love the fact that young people are going to therapy. I have so many young people that I talk to that are in therapy.
That's good.
That
That's
was something that was not even heard of in my generation. Like, you're not going to therapy. What we're
mm-hmm.
going to do is pray about it and you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
So
And
therapy was not a thing.
yeah. And in my generation too. Just yesterday, one of my clients was like, I haven't told anybody in my family because they will think I'm crazy.
Yeah.
They will say
Come on.
this right here affirms that she is crazy.
Right.
And I
Right.
said, well, you let them know if they ain't going, they crazy, you know? If you're not going to therapy, I think that if you don't go to therapy, that says you crazy. You about
Right,
crazy.
right. And I think we definitely are getting to a place in life where if you say that people are crazy for going to therapy, then you're probably the one that's got some issues going on with you.
Yeah. But that's that whole thing of back in the day, keep it in this house. Don't tell nobody else. Keep our secrets here. We don't want nobody to think of the family this way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think that again, that's when you have people that don't get healed.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Yeah. So I'm all about therapy. We talked about that on Sunday, therapy. Even with this Recitessa thing, that's what's coming out even more. Therapy. Therapy is needed. And how to normalize therapy.
That part. That's what I'm here for, I believe, to normalize therapy. Um, and Black folks just some of the hardest, stubbornest people, and believe this thing of just keeping it in yourself. So I've had a couple clients who, in one session just felt a sense of relief because they don't talk, and then we don't trust, right? As a whole, right? And so one session, she was like, "Hey, I feel so much better because I was able to get all that out." We don't realize that we're containers. And so if we
Yep.
continue to hold on to this stuff, if we continue to allow this junk to infiltrate our systems, right? Like we're going to either get sick, we got it some kind of way it comes out of our
It
body.
comes out.
Yeah.
I tell my daughter that all the time. Feelings are like pee and poop. They gotta come out some type of way. What we take in is gotta come out some type of way.
Yeah. Yep.
And we have to learn how to make sure it comes out in a positive way.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you hear about the husband? You probably didn't. Here in Atlanta, they are divorcing. They have, I think, 6 kids together. They're all under the age of 5 or something like that.
Mhm.
Young
The
kids.
kids?
The kids, yeah. The kids are very young. They're young. I don't even think they're 30 yet. And he cheated on his wife.
Mm.
And he talked about it very vividly for about an hour on YouTube. And I don't really know how to think about it because he admitted that he cheated. He said that he was sorry to his wife several times, but he's still like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I love my wife, but I love this woman too. And I
Mm.
think for me, it's like, have you seen a therapist? Because I was just a little confused about, what do you mean you don't know what to do? You're married with 6 kids.
But was that a part of their relationship in the beginning? Like some people have these open type relationships, maybe he was always doing this.
He he claims that she was like, his wife was his first everything,
Oh,
at like 17, 18 years old. And
how
so
is he?
he's like 28 now, I think.
That may make a difference because he didn't play.
He didn't play before he stayed.
Right.
You gotta go and play. And I was thinking the exact same thing when he said that. I was like, oh, he didn't get outside enough.
Right.
He wasn't outside. That's what the young folks say. He wasn't outside.
Right.
And so now I think now he is confused because she's all that he knows.
Yeah. Yep.
And I feel, but I feel bad, in a situation like that, to where, yeah, I get his point of view. I truly do. And I applaud him and commend him for coming on such a huge platform to talk about it. Girl,
Mhm.
he drank like a whole bottle of wine while he telling this story.
But you think that this is a way now for people to make money, like the Ressa Tessa thing and or whatever her name is, and him? Is this a way now that people see? I'm gonna be, I'm gonna put it out there, right? Because you can make some money.
I don't think that she necessarily was thinking
No,
that
I'm
way.
not saying her. I'm saying
Yeah.
since now
Oh yeah,
people
oh
may
yeah.
come out.
Now,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I definitely, because James was saying the same thing. He was like, "You know how much money she made off of that?" I told him, I said, "I don't think that that was her initial plan, though. Like,
Right.
I truly believe that she did it with the intentions of helping some people, and she just ended up getting a payday. And I
I
think
She
now,
did it for herself. Like, I
oh
need to
yeah,
get this out, right? That could have been what she considered her therapy. I need to tell and share this story. I don't think she did it to make no money. And then when she
no,
came up, she was like,
right. Yeah, I don't think it was for that anyway. You got BMW reaching out to you. You got Delta reaching out to you. You got all these, like, that was not her intention. I don't think so. Now, if she did it, that's fine. But I don't think it was her intention at all. But now that people see that she did make that much money off of it. And also, the reason why I don't think that that was her intention is that she tells you several times that she used to record audio journals all the time.
oh, mm-hmm,
So that was just her personality.
mm-hmm,
She just
mm-hmm.
added a camera to it.
She stepped into her purpose.
She did.
Hmm. That
And she
happened
was able to do it.
because other people needed to hear her story. I believe that, right? And so that was her purpose. I'm saying what happens then, you have an influx of people like, hey, if it can happen for her, they'll make up stories, you know?
They will make up. James said that he was like, now it would be funny in 6 months if we find out she lied about it. I said, James, she did not lie about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I personally do not think she lied about it. Now, like you saying, people that come after her, oh yes, they get ready to have a whole nother 52-part lies. Is
Man.
what. But I think that, yeah, I do think. But this particular guy, I don't think he's lying either. I think that he's really did not experience life as a child, as a teenager, and as a young adult, and now he's reaping the costs that come with that.
Well, I think it's a I think it's a necessary story, right? Because how many people can relate to that who have maybe gotten married early, uh,
Mm-hmm.
jumped into something, and then you got to mature, right? And
Yeah,
so it's like, what do I do with this? Now I want to be with somebody else, but what do I do? I love my wife, but I love her too, or I want to be with somebody else too. I think it's real talk, and I think it
yeah.
makes for a good show, a good, good movie, all of that.
Good movie, good book, all of
Yeah.
that because it's real. And I
Yeah.
think that, a lot of people don't take into consideration, what he actually went through. Because I do think that he went through a lot. And, for him to be bold enough to come out and say that, I think that it speaks volumes about him as a person because I think it actually is a cry for help.
Oh yeah. And so maybe so BMW bought Ressa gave her a car, right?
Yeah.
Maybe a therapist need to reach out and give her some free therapy, or not free, maybe because she can afford it now, but
Oh,
some
she
therapy,
bought
right?
now.
And for
There,
this guy, a therapist needs to reach out. This is moments where you see this stuff, because what good is it for them to get this stuff and then mentally they're not able to handle it?
you got to put a plug in there. You got to put a plug and be like, hey, it sounds like to me you need, so you keep saying you don't know what to do.
Right.
That sounds like to me that you need a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because yeah, I think that his childhood has a lot to do with how things turned out the way that they did.
Mm-hmm.
Just him, he said, I was always in the church, y'all. I was always in the church. So you know what
Mm-hmm.
that brings up to me? Like some type of purity situation to where
Mm-hmm.
you felt like you had to live your life a certain type of way.
They probably told him he had to. If you marry, if you have sex, you might as well marry
Going
her.
to hell.
You're gonna burn or something.
Going to hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet you.
Mhm.
And he said that he was in church, and he wanted to be a pastor. That's all he knew. So all those things I think played major in his decision to get married that young. You got a lot of people who talk about that. Like, I don't want to be considered a hoe, so I need to go ahead and get married
Mhm.
to the first Joe Schmo that come along and show me some interest.
Mhm.
I'm gonna marry him so that I'm not sinning.
Mhm. Yeah. Well. Somebody needs to reach out to him.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if that's his situation, but just the fact that he said that he's been in church all his life, girl, we can only imagine.
Right. Oh yeah, yeah. And
only
he,
imagine.
he was told, you got to marry her, and he might have had out of wedlock, and you got to make this right, and all of that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. He was doing what he felt like. And he too said that he had been married for 8 years. And so I did look up that, that eight means new beginnings.
That's a new beginnings, abundance, and infinity, and it makes sense in my situation. I could tell you new beginnings, right? So when I think, like, when I learned, when I first joined church and stuff like that, and they used to say new beginnings, I always jumped and shouted, because I'm thinking new beginnings. Ooh, that's a good thing, right? New beginnings sounds good to me, but it ain't always good. Getting from this mountain to this mountain, there's a valley in between, and
Valley.
that's where we at right here. We crossing over to this mountain, and that valley is deep.
The valley is deep. It is so real. It is so torturous. And we said it on Saturday. On Sunday, our valley was from year 8 to year 12. We was in the valley for a long time.
That's the other thing. You don't know how long it takes you to get from this mountain and cross to that valley to the next mountain, right? And then I got eights all around me. So tomorrow Tyrone will be 48.
Oh,
We married for 8 years. Right. There's eights everywhere I look. And I'm like,
today's the 28th, right? Yeah.
28th, right? Yeah. Normally his birthday is on the 28th. He's really 12 years old because he only get has had 4 leap years. But yeah. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, so tomorrow, yeah, he'll be 48.
What are
And
y'all doing to celebrate?
Saturday we're going to he picked a restaurant that he wants to go to. So I invited all his family. So probably about 15 of us are going. He wants to go to the casino, so we're gonna go to the casino. And then he wants to come back here and play cards, play music. So it's gonna be a full day. That
Yeah.
Saturday's gonna be loaded with activities.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
But it'll make him happy.
yeah, that's why I said it on our days, you get a chance to do whatever you want. Not whatever, but pretty much pretty much whatever you choose to do.
It's your day. You only get once,
Yeah,
one a year.
exactly. And
Mm.
I'm making it a thing, the first 48. Maybe I shouldn't do that because I don't know what that that whole show, the first 48, typically is not a good show, but
About murder.
right. So yeah, maybe I should rethink that. But I wanted to do a first 48 party, and then I went past that. So I can't go back. So I said maybe I'll do it for him. He didn't ask me to do it, and maybe I shouldn't.
First 48. It's a crime scene. Figure it out.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do it. I was gonna have like 48 pictures of him, right? As him.
Oh yeah.
I don't have 48 pictures of him, but I was gonna ask like his family, but it's too late. I waited too late, I
Too
think, to
late.
done.
Yeah, because it's Wednesday.
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
Yeah. So we're at Wednesday now. His birthday's tomorrow. Saturday's the celebration.
Yeah.
So it's best to just do what he asked you to do and leave it at that.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do that part. He already I've got his gift, and so he's excited about that. And yeah, I think I'm gonna leave the first 48. I don't know. I might wake up in the morning and post it. I don't know.
You know what's so crazy? I think we're a week apart, right? You and I with our birthdays. We're like a week and some days apart, I think.
Yours is what? I'm
October 3rd. You're the 28th,
26.
26th.
7.
We're a
Yep.
whole week apart. So, and my mom and Tyrone, I think, are like a week apart.
Mm.
Yeah,
Because your mom is when?
March 6th.
Yeah.
Next, yeah,
Hmm.
they right there together. So it's like, wow, I can kind of see what kind of person he is because he's probably similar to how my mom is.
I don't know.
Yeah, no,
They're
but if I even when I've heard him talk, you know, he's a sensitive. His
but
heart
you
is
guys
right
not.
type
Yeah.
person.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I can
Hmm.
totally see that about him.
Hmm.
So, and my mom is the same way. Would give people the shirt off of her back.
Hmm.
You know, that's just what
Yeah.
type of person she is. And
Hmm.
I see a lot of those attributes in him too. Those Pisces,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Them fish.
the fish, water,
Hmm. Yeah.
water.
Yep.
So yeah, I get it and I see it, and I really do hope he has a good day tomorrow. So is he gonna work?
Girl, he wouldn't know what to do if he didn't go. He normally Saturday he ain't gonna know because he's supposed to be his off day, but he goes into work on Saturdays to play around with his cars and stuff. So he might go in Saturday morning early. I don't know. But it's his day. So if that's what you choose to do you,
Do you, boo? Because I ain't working nowhere on my birthday.
boo. Not at all. I hope to be laid up on the island somewhere.
Oh yes,
Hmm.
yes.
Oh,
That's
did you see that thing about Paris? I said the only reason I want to go to Paris is there's a store where you can make your
make
own.
the purse or something.
There you go. That's the only reason I want to go.
All that.
I did used to want to go to Paris. I like all the Paris, the Eiffel Tower. Wait, what is that? Yeah, the Eiffel Tower. I like the different statues and stuff, but not necessarily wanting to have to see it.
I heard the food there is not that great, but the
I
wine,
heard that too.
yeah,
Yeah.
but the wine is really great. I heard.
So maybe we should plan a trip for Paris.
Ooh, to Paris. Oh. Okay, well, first we got to come up with a 52-part documentary, and then they might give us our trip to Paris for free.
Right. Yeah. Well, Paris though, I don't think it's that expensive.
I don't know. I've never looked it up because your girl got to fly Delta. I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't fly none of that Spirit. I don't like that Spirit. I don't fly. What's that other one? Frontier.
Frontier.
I don't like none of that. I fly Southwest because I like that all the bags are included. I like American. Delta, yeah, really nice, right? I
Yeah.
like a upscale plane. I don't like that old them seats be this thin and seriously, like the back is gonna break off when you
I have never been on a Spirit or a Frontier plane. I've
look.
been on United. I've been on Southwest. I've been on Delta.
Yeah.
And when I went Delta, it was like, oh, I just don't know if I can do anything other than Delta.
No, I get it. I ain't mad at you. I hear you. I'm a Southwest girl, but hey, I'll go any of those other ones. It's fine for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do. I do like. I don't mind Southwest. I think that I would do Southwest before I did anything else. I would do Southwest. So
But one of my clients told me about she flies all the time. She probably is gone 3 times out the month, 2, 3 times out the month, right? What she does is she puts in where she is and she puts in anywhere around the world,
this
right?
is South.
No, no, no. Just it's like a Google thing.
What?
And you put it anywhere, you have to be open to flying because she likes to fly really reasonable, right? And get the reasonable rates. And you put anywhere, just open it up to anywhere around the world. And so she'll see something really reasonable and she go.
And she hop on it.
Yeah, so we could do that, put it in and see. Most times it's when they got the seasons may not be the greatest in that place or whatever, and so you can get them
Right.
cheaper. But hey, I'm all for that. She be getting stuff like 300 and some dollars for like a week.
What?
Yeah, like round trip. on good flights. She don't go cheap either.
Oh, see, now that's what I'm talking about. I need me a ticket like that.
So let's wait until next year. We got to get in this house first. Let's get in this house, and then we can just hit up Paris,
Oh, girl, that
even
sounds.
even for a weekend.
Listen, I'm so for it. And finding a really nice hotel, a really nice restaurant, even
Yeah,
though they tell us that the food ain't good, you
yeah,
can't go to Paris and not eat.
yeah. It's gonna be a lot of meats and yeah, probably stuff.
I already know you gonna be like,
Yeah, I'm probably gonna do more drinking of the wine and
yeah,
bread. Yeah,
yeah, oh yeah. I heard the bread is very fresh. Oh
yeah,
yeah,
and the butter, and I'm good.
yes,
Some bread, butter, and some
and
wine.
wine.
Yes, I make
We need,
my purse, and we go see some of this architectural stuff, and I'm good.
we need to go on us a eat, pray, love journey.
Yeah, in a weekend.
No, in like a year, take time away and just go on a
Oh, oh,
eat,
we
pray,
can do
love journey.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can do it.
go to different places and eat
Hmm.
and find a nice place to go. I'm telling you, I want to find a place like that doggone. Now, I don't know if I want to be microdose now, but I do want to find one of those places, one of those serene places where you can go and really fully meditate.
Hmm. Hmm.
Oh yeah, I want to go to a place like that.
Okay, I'm all for it.
And
After we get in this house.
listen, I understand. Shoot.
Oh, I found some. We gotta go. Me and Tyrone are going in April. It's like really real, going to find a spot. So,
Oh, that's exciting.
yep, it's
So
coming.
are you gonna get to stick your fork thing in the ground and sold when y'all go?
Hmm?
You know they have the little placards that you put down in the ground.
Oh,
You
it's already sold though.
oh, I thought you were saying y'all were going to pick the
No, no,
flower.
no. Going to find a place for me. Like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like
Oh, I
a
see what you're
six
saying.
month lease or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
I found like five places, so we'll go check them out and have to pick something because I'm gonna have to stay somewhere.
Right. And then you can always go and look as they start building. Did they do the foundation yet?
No, we not yet. We haven't fully gotten approved yet. We're still waiting on that.
Oh,
I don't
it's
know why the
coming.
process is so long. Sometime in March. They already got us on the calendar. Sometime in March.
Oh, so that's a night to pop some bottles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's going to be so exciting.
Yeah.
Man, and you're gonna have to go down there and take pictures and everything. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
you got there.
The before and the after. Yep.
Yeah. My mom has those. She just built a house 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, because she had a house. She still has one, but she didn't build that one. That one was already built.
Okay.
So this is her first time ever building a house from the ground up.
So this is my second, but the first one was like it wasn't custom. It was like a kind of cheaper, like
Mm.
home, right? But it was brand new. And so this is totally new for me. Like having to pick out everything in
Ooh.
the color, the floor. I mean everything, how cabinetry, hardware. Yeah, that's new for me. So I'm excited because it's
I,
different.
I'll be there told them folk, never mind, I don't want to do it.
Why? Well, I love that type of
You
stuff.
do, you do,
Yeah,
you do. That's
I
the
love it.
because listen, I want me something where I got three different things to pick from, and I just pick. Oh yeah, that's cute.
Oh, it's too much for you. Okay, got
It's overwhelming.
yeah.
What do you mean I got to go in a store and with thousands and thousands of colors of paint and tell you which one I want on my
See
house?
that
I don't know.
I've already picked out paint colors and all of that. Yeah, so me and Tyrone sat down. Pretty much, I knew what I wanted, and I gave him choices like you. Pick out of these four what you like. Yeah. So
Oh, that's
that's
perfect.
why I need to be down there because when we gotta go to the store or I
Mhm.
gotta go to the store, he wouldn't have a clue of what to do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you'll be able to see it as the walls go up. Oh, that's gonna be so nice. And you know that it was all yours input, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
One thing Tyler Perry did, he said that he put Bibles, buried Bibles
Yep.
underneath. I'm gonna bury a Bible underneath my foundation,
Mm-hmm.
and then like on the walls, put some Bible verses
Scripture.
stuff. Yeah.
Yep. My friend did that. My friends, they have a Bible that they had signed by the pastor, put in their doorway. They mounted it in the doorway.
Mm,
And then they wrote scriptures on their walls before they put the drywall up. Yep.
yeah.
All
Yeah.
throughout their house it was scriptures and prayers. I think James and I even wrote one on.
Okay.
So yeah, and they've had their house for a while. That's actually my friend that passed last year. So they've had that house for Kaden is 12. They've had that house probably for about 8, 9, yeah, about 9 years. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And her husband's still there, and the house was just always so warm and welcoming. So I know it'll be nice. It's gonna be nice
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and warm and welcoming and
Yeah.
just so full of God's spirit and love
Mm-hmm.
because that's your intention.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. You're being
Mm-hmm.
intentional about that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the good thing about building from the ground up. You would
Exactly.
always like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
want, like, I guess when Armageddon comes or whatever, and they might tear the walls down and they see the scripture, right? At least that will be welcoming to them. Like, oh, they love God. Like these were God
We're
loving
home.
people. Yeah.
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 Yeah. When the zombies come,
Yeah. Or whatever, Yep.
the apocalypse.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we did pretty good.
Yeah.
Hour and 18 minutes.
We did good.
Mm-hmm.
We did this hour and 11 on my side.
Oh,
So
right, right. Well, we were hour and 11. Hmm.
yeah,
I don't
we
know what.
did, huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, good chatting with you, friend.
Of course, as always, bye, millionaire.
Girl, he's sitting here getting rubbed. He like
What did you talk about? Yeah, I had to kick mine out. He wanted to go out there and cause some fuss, so I kicked mine out.
into the backyard.
No, he wouldn't go, girl, because it done got so cold. It was like 76 degrees earlier. Now it's like 40.
Oh yeah.
He
Yesterday
was
it was
like, what?
about 70, and then by night it was like 20.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
I think that's across the United States. I don't know what's going on, but
It's so
whew,
weird. It is so weird. I'm so ready for it to warm up.
man. Man.
Mm-hmm. Well, all right, friend.
Okay. I will see you next week sometime.
See you next week sometime. We'll get it together.
All right. All right. See y'all.
Bye bye.